Good evening. It's just past 6 o'clock on Saturday, February the 12th. And in the news this week, congratulations go to Dorset County Hospital Maternity Unit, which has been recognised as one of the best in the country in the latest national survey results. The 2021 Maternity Survey, published by the Care Quality Commission, summarises the experiences of over 23,000 women who gave birth during January and February 2021. This was during the third COVID-19 national lockdown, of course. So the survey results this year reflects women's experience of care during the pandemic. The survey asked women about their experiences of care across the entire pregnancy pathway, from antenatal care, labour and birth, and postnatal care. Over 100 responses were received from patients for Dorset County Hospital. As well as delivering individual hospital reports, the CQC publishes a report which focuses on variation in results for care during labour and birth. Dorset County Hospital has been identified as performing better than expected. This is because the proportion of women who answered positively to questions about their care during labour and birth was significantly above the national average. Dorset County Hospital performed the same or better than other hospitals in all the survey categories. Particularly high scores were achieved for treating people with respect and dignity, having trust and confidence in staff, and the cleanliness of the environment. So well done to the maternity unit at Dorset County Hospital. Royal Mail has told us this week that stamps that we already have purchased will be unusable after January next year. And that's because the Royal Mail will be introducing a new style of stamp after a successful trial of the new design. And you can see the new design up on the screen. A special barcode will be added to the side of the stamp, but the Queen's head will still remain a part of the stamp. The barcode will make it possible to watch videos, messages, and much more information will be available by the use of the Royal Mail app and scanning the barcode. The current non-barcoded stamps will be phased out, but will be unusable. They'll be usable up until the 31st of January 2023, but after that date they won't be. The Royal Mail says the barcode will also help to introduce added security features and pave the way for innovative services for their customers. To help with the change, the Royal Mail is offering a swap system, and you'll be able to swap out existing stamps you've got between the 31st of March this year and the 31st of March next year. And you'll do this by downloading a form from their website, filling it in, and I guess attaching stamps and maybe possibly taking them to a post office. But we wait to be informed exactly how the system will work, and that will be up and running soon on the Royal Mail website. So that's new stamps coming in. Lots of people do buy ahead with their stamps as a way of saving money. So if you've got lots of stamps you've already purchased, you're going to need to swap them out if you want to use them after January next year. Go Girls, and there's a Go Girl up on the screen, welcomes the National Institute of Health and Care Excellence, otherwise known as NICE, decision to recommend the use of a new cancer drug, which provides a treatment option for patients with a common and aggressive form of advanced endometrial cancer. That's a cancer affecting the lining of the womb. The decision has been announced by NICE to issue a final appraisal determination, otherwise known as a FAD, if you want to know the acronym, recommending the use of Gemperli or Dostarlimab. Well, I don't know why all these medications have difficult names, but Dostarlimab is the drug, via the Cancer Drugs Fund. Today, beyond chemotherapy, there have been limited treatment options for women with advanced, recurrent and endometrial cancer in England. Now, patients whose cancer has a specific abnormality called MSIH or MMR deficiency have the opportunity to access immunotherapy with Dostarlimab. This is a step forward in improving outcomes for women with endometrial cancer by delivering a tailored treatment. Hilary Maxwell, who's the chair of Go Girls, said Go Girls were delighted to be part of the NICE process to advocate the importance of choice in advanced endometrial cancer. It's the most commonly diagnosed gynecological cancer in the UK and the 7th most common cause of cancer death in the UK. This positive outcome is the beginning of wider progress in the treatment and care of people affected by this devastating cancer. Go Girls formed in 2018 to support all women with gynecological cancers. Since its inception, the charity has grown significantly with 750 members across the UK and is supported by its patron, Helen Lederer, one of Britain's known faces in the field of comedy, writing and acting. Now, if you want more information on Go Girls, you can go to www.gogirlssupport.org. www.gogirlssupport.org. There we go. A row has erupted after a Dorset MP suggested police should not be wasting valuable resources probing a wildlife crime after an investigation was launched into the death of 2 rare eagles, one of which was found dead in Dorset. Wildlife campaigner and TV presenter Chris Packham led the criticism against remarks made by West Dorset MP Chris Loader, who said police should instead focus resources on targeting county line drugs networks. Mr. Packham said that Mr. Loader's comments were disgusting and sinister. Earlier in the week, Dorset Police appealed for information from the public to help find out what could have caused the death of the white-tailed eagles. The birds had been released in the Isle of Wight as part of a reintroduction project by Forestry England in a bid to bring the breed back into the country after an absence of 240 years. 2 of the eagles were found dead, including one in Dorset, following multi-agency operations in the south of England. Writing on Twitter, Mr. Loader said, "Dorset is not the place for eagles to be reintroduced. I'm not challenging government for more money for Dorset, so it goes on this. I don't condone this at all, but I want Dorset Police to focus on county lines rather than spending time and resources on this." Mr. Loader's tweet prompted a raft of criticism, with people showing their support for the work of the police's wildlife unit and saying the incident should be investigated, especially if the birds have been killed deliberately. Chris Packham, who has presented the BBC Spring Watch, Autumn Watch and Winter Watch programmes, also went on to say, "You couldn't have made it up and you don't have to, as Chris Loader calls upon Dorset Police not to investigate crime. Not just undemocratic but sinister. I cannot quite believe the disgusting state of some of our elected representatives." Dorset Police went on to say they didn't want to comment further on Mr. Loader's remarks. Turning to another politician now, Councillor Spencer Flower, who is the leader of Dorset Council, has this week been speaking about the importance of local plans. Local plans are a key component of the planning system. They shape how land use and places will change and develop in the future. And he goes on to say this is why he has been and continues to be in dialogue with the Right Honourable Michael Gove, Secretary of State for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities, and his officials, offering a constructive, bold and ambitious alternative for the way we develop our new local plan, one that is right for Dorset. He goes on to say in his dialogue with Michael Gove, "I've been arguing that the current national planning framework is not providing councils with the means to promote sustainable development through their local plans, but it is instead about chasing housing targets. I am seeking to reform this framework and proposing that Dorset could be a pilot for a new way of creating local plans based on sustainability and local needs over the next 30 years that also recognises the ambitions of our climate and ecological emergency strategy. We must have a local plan in place without one we face the risk of unmanaged development in Dorset, but it has to be the right plan. Our hard-working and innovative planning officers have ensured the draft local plan is the best it can be, but it's constrained by the current legislation." As a result of the unprecedented 9,000 responses the public consultation received, many residents share Mr. Councillor Flower's views that the draft local plan chases housing numbers rather than prioritising the council's and local people's needs. Councillor Flower also believes it's better to have fewer, bigger scale new developments in Dorset, which bring in the necessary funding and infrastructure, rather than lots of small developments which put further pressure on already stretched community resources. And he's asked Mr. Gove to consider severe radical changes. Well, we'll have to see how Councillor Flower and Dorset Council get on with that. Officers from Dorset Police are appealing for information from the public to help locate a wanted man. Dwayne Farrell, who we can see on screen, is aged 31, and he is wanted on a prison recall after failing to comply with the terms of his licence. He has links to Bournemouth and Weymouth in Dorset, as well as Suffolk. He's around 6 foot 1 inch tall and of heavy build, and recently had a braided hairstyle with cornrow style braids. Police Constable Ben Aldous of Dorset Police said, "We have been carrying out our inquiries to locate Dwayne Farrell, but these have so far been unsuccessful. I'm now appealing to the public for anyone with information as to his whereabouts to please contact us." While we do not have any information to suggest Farrell presents a risk to the general public, anyone who sees him is urged not to approach him, but instead to dial 999 immediately. So if you see Dwayne Farrell, you should call 999 immediately. But if you've got any other information about his whereabouts, you should contact the non-emergency number 101, or you can contact the police anonymously through Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111, where you can pass over information without identifying who you are. Weymouth Town Council is inviting sports organisations to be part of Weymouth's annual Beach Sports and Community Festival, and is offering grants to help local clubs run activities for younger residents. 2022 marks a decade since Weymouth hosted the Olympics and Paralympics sailing events. To celebrate this occasion, Weymouth Town Council will be working with local sports clubs to run a multi-sports event on Sunday the 24th of July, and this will round off their annual Beach Sports and Community Festival, which runs from the 12th to the 24th of July on Weymouth Beach. Weymouth Town Council are inviting clubs to register their interest now, because there is a lot of planning involved in putting on a festival of this size. They're hoping clubs will come forward who want to deliver a range of fun, beginner-friendly activities on the beach which are related to their sport and that young people can take part in. As a thank you and support to bidding young sports stars of the future, each club delivering an activity as part of the Sunday event will have the opportunity to apply for a sports grant of up to £250 to be specifically targeted at the club's youth and diversity activities. The event ties in with the national Pass the Baton campaign, which highlights the successes of Team GB and Paralympics GB and the opportunities that came from London 2012. So if your club is interested in taking part in this multi-sports event on Weymouth Beach, or in running sessions at any point during the Weymouth Beach Sports and Community Festival, please contact Weymouth Town Council. And the best way to contact them in respect of this is by email, and the email address to email is events@weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk. That's events@weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk, and they'd like to hear from you by Thursday the 31st of March. Thursday the 31st of March. Moving on then, after reports on this channel and in the local press in recent weeks, we have heard that restoration has started on the White Horse at Osmington. As previously reported, Dorset Council had assured residents that the iconic Osmington White Horse does not need saving despite losing its distinctive colour, and insisted the landmark would be looking its very best soon. It comes following concerns raised by former chairman of the Osmington White Horse Restoration Project, Geoffrey Codd, who was aged 90, who said he was saddened by the current sorry and dreary state of the White Horse. The local authority said it has now started the first phase of maintenance for the hillside chalk figure by defining the edging, clearing scrub and rebuilding the retaining walls. The monument, which is a local tourist attraction, requires annual spraying and other maintenance to stop weed growth and in order to keep its white appearance. Recently emerged that the figure had not been sprayed since 2019 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the local council no longer had a budget to restore it. However, Dorset Council have said, although there is no budget to upkeep the White Horse, the importance of the figure to the local community is understood, and they have an annual maintenance plan in place for it. The spokesman added, as planned, our countryside rangers are on site at Osmington Whitehorse this week. They have been defining the edge, clearing scrub and rebuilding the retaining walls. This gets the area ready for the bulk of the work set to take place in April and May. Now the White Horse is quite a large local attraction, isn't it? It's 280 foot by 320 foot large. It was created in 1808, so it's quite old, as a tribute to King George III, following the monarch's visit to the nearby resort in Weymouth, which he used to enjoy. You can, keeping with local authority and local councils, you can have your say on local green space designation in Weymouth. If you're a resident, a community group, a landowner or a business, then Weymouth Town Council want to hear about the local green spaces that you value in Weymouth. The Weymouth Neighbourhood Plan Steering Group is calling on people to nominate local green spaces across the town. These will be considered in the Weymouth Neighbourhood Plan, which provides everyone in Weymouth with the opportunity to influence the decisions that will affect the town's future, from the way the land is used for housing, business, retail, leisure, and through to the protection of open green spaces. Local green spaces are defined as small pockets of land close to where people live, which are of particular importance to communities because of their beauty, historic significance, recreational value, tranquility, or richness of wildlife. If you would like to nominate a local green space, then you can put this forward for before the closing date, which is Wednesday the 6th of April. So you need to be in touch by Wednesday the 6th of April. Councillor David Northern, who's Vice Chair of the Neighbourhood Plan Steering Group, said protecting local green spaces that local people value is an important step in shaping Weymouth's neighbourhood plan. We know where most of these important spaces are located, but we're asking residents, businesses, community groups or landowners to come forward and tell us what local sites are important to them. The more people who join us in gathering this evidence, the stronger will be the case for formal designation within the Weymouth Neighbourhood Plan, providing similar protection to the Green Belt. Now, if you want further information on identifying local green spaces, pop along to the Weymouth Town Council website and you will find the information there. And the website address, I'm sure you know it, but the website address is nice and easy: www.weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk www.weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk. And finally, in our headlines tonight, it is expected that more than 150 new jobs will be created at a local holiday camp. Waterside Holiday Group has announced ambitious recruitment plans for 2022 as it prepares for a busy holiday season. Also, with seasonal pay increases above the national living wage and more than 150 roles available across its Dorset parks. The majority of the roles available will be seasonal, with some operating for longer than the traditional season, for instance between February 2022 and January 2023. The number of jobs available is particularly high this year due to the company's ongoing investment in its parks. The company is also upping its seasonal pay rates to £10 per hour for those aged 18 and over, exceeding the new national living wage of £9.50, which is due to come in on the 1st of April. And the under 18s will also get a higher rate at £9 per hour, making it an uplift on the government rate of £4.81, coming into force for 16 and 17-year-olds in April. Both seasonal and permanent positions are available across multiple areas of the business, including retail, food and drink, security, leisure and holiday sales. The company is hosting recruitment days in Weymouth. One of them was today at Bowley's Coveway, and the next one is next Saturday here in White Regis at Chesil Vista Holiday Park on Portland Road, and that's next Saturday, February the 19th. And this event, and the one held today, will give potential recruits the opportunity to experience different operations firsthand and hear from existing employees about various departments. More information is also available about career opportunities on the company's website at www.watersideholidayGroup.co.uk. And that's the end of our headlines this evening. Now, our first story this evening is from Janet Hall, and she tells us about something very important that's coming up this week. Of course, this week, 14th of February falls on Monday, I think it is, and 14th of February is Valentine's Day. Now, what do we know about Valentine's Day? We give each other cards and things and presents on Valentine's Day, but do we know anything about where it came from or how long it's been celebrated? Well, Janet's going to tell us about it now. Over we go to Janet.
Have you remembered that it is St. Valentine's Day on Monday?
Who was Saint Valentine? The day gets its name from a famous saint, but there are several stories of who he was. The popular belief about St. Valentine is that he was a priest from Rome in the 3rd century AD. Emperor Claudius II had banned marriage because he thought married men were bad soldiers. Valentine felt this was unfair, so he broke the rules and arranged marriages in secret. When Claudius found out, Valentine was thrown in jail and sentenced to death. There he fell in love with the jailer's daughter, and when he was taken to be killed on the 14th of February, he sent her a love letter, signed, "From your Valentine." The Romans had a festival called Lupercalia in the middle of February, officially the start of their springtime. It's thought that as part of the celebrations, boys drew names of girls from a box. There'd be boyfriend and girlfriend during the festival, and sometimes they'd get married. Later on, the church wanted to turn this festival into a Christian celebration and decided to use it to remember St. Valentine too. Gradually, St. Valentine's name started to be used by people to express their feelings to those that they loved. However, a University of Kansas English professor, Jack B. Orrock, had a different theory, which was noted in the Times. Through research, he determined that the poet Geoffrey Chaucer linked love with St. Valentine for the first time in the 14th century in the work The Parliament of Fools and the Complaint of Mars. Therefore, Orrock claimed that Chaucer invented Valentine's Day as we know it today. At the time of Chaucer's writing, February the 14th also happened to be considered the first day of spring in Britain, because it was the beginning of the birds' mating season. Very appropriate for a celebration of affection. So whether or not Chaucer can be fully credited, it is true that he and fellow writer Shakespeare popularised the amorous associations surrounding the day. By the 1660s, when Samuel Pepys wrote repeatedly of Valentine's Day in his diaries, high-class Londoners were treating the belief as more light-hearted fun than a search for true love. Soon people began writing and exchanging love letters to celebrate Valentine's Day, and by the early 1910s, an American company that would one day become Hallmark began distributing its more official Valentine's Day cards. And then flowers, candy, jewellery, and more followed. And the rest, of course, is history. Here are some very old Valentine's Day cards. It's not all about St. Valentine, though. Cupid, that winged baby boy often seen on Valentine's Day cards and paraphernalia, is another symbol of this love-filled holiday, and it's easy to understand why. In Roman mythology, Cupid was the son of Venus, goddess of love and beauty. He was known for shooting arrows at both gods and humans and causing them to fall instantly in love with one another. While it's unclear exactly when Cupid was brought into the Valentine's Day story, it's certainly clear why.
So, who are you going to send a Valentine card to this year?
Well, thank you, Janet, for your background on Valentine's Day. And of course, was it the Romans or was it Chaucer? Aided by Shakespeare. Lots of interesting information there, some of which I didn't know. So thank you again, Janet. We do enjoy your pieces each week. Well, last week we marked the anniversary of the Queen's accession to the throne. And of course, the whole of this year is going to be a special year with events throughout the year to mark the Platinum Jubilee. And later this year, in June, we're going to have an extended bank holiday weekend to mark, specifically at that time, the Platinum Jubilee. So this week, our reporter Lydia is looking ahead to that bank holiday weekend and to see what sort of national celebrations we may come across over that bank holiday weekend.
Last week we heard about the anniversary of the Queen's accession to the throne on the 6th of February. This year Her Majesty the Queen will become the first British monarch to celebrate a Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 years of service to the people of the United Kingdom, the realms and the Commonwealth. A number of national events are being organised to mark this very special and nationally significant occasion, culminating in a 4-day UK bank holiday weekend from Thursday 2nd to Sunday the 5th of June. The idea of the extended bank holiday is that it will provide an opportunity for people to enjoy the national celebrations, but also to come together as local communities to celebrate the historic milestone. The 4 days of celebrations will include public events and community activities, as well as national moments of reflection on the Queen's 70 years of service. So what national events will there be? On Thursday the 2nd of June, there will be the Queen's Birthday Parade, also known as Trooping the Colour. Over 1,400 parading soldiers, 200 horses and 400 musicians will come together in the traditional parade to mark the Queen's official birthday, usually held on the second Saturday in June. The parade will close with the traditional RAF fly past, watched by the Queen and members of the royal family from the Buckingham Palace balcony. In the evening, over 1,500 Platinum Jubilee beacons will be lit all over the country, including here in Wyke Regis. For the first time, beacons will also be lit in each of the capital cities of the Commonwealth countries to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. On Friday the 3rd of June, the main event will be a service of thanksgiving at St. Paul's Cathedral. On Saturday the 4th of June, the Queen, accompanied by other members of the royal family, will attend the Derby at Epsom Downs. There will also be a platinum party at the palace. The BBC will stage and broadcast a special live concert from Buckingham Palace that will bring together some of the world's biggest entertainment stars to celebrate the most significant and joyous moments from the Queen's 7-decade reign. On Sunday the 5th of June, the main event will be the Big Jubilee Lunch. It is hoped that communities will come together in a spirit of fun and friendship. People are invited to share friendship, food and fun with neighbours. Maybe you will hold a tea party, picnic or a street party. On the same day there will also be the Platinum Jubilee pageant. Artistic performers, dancers, musicians, military personnel, key workers and volunteers will unite to tell the story of the Queen's 70-year reign in an awe-inspiring festival of creativity. The London-based pageant will combine pomp and ceremony, street arts, theatre, music, circus, costumes as well as cutting-edge visual technology, drawing on talent from every part of the United Kingdom and across the Commonwealth. In addition, throughout the year there will be other initiatives to mark the Platinum Jubilee, including the Queen's Green Canopy and the Platinum Pudding Competition. If you are organising events in your street, community, workplace or school, we would love to hear from you. Do let us know. Back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you, Lydia. And as Lydia said there, if you are organising any events, do let us know. There's quite a lot being planned for Wyke Regis. I'm already aware of, and we will bring news on those to you. So do keep those dates free from the 2nd through to the 5th of June. Lots going on in Wyke Regis for families, and hopefully you'll be part of that. Or, of course, the wider Weymouth and Portland areas. Do let us know. news@wykeregis.tv. We'd love to share them with the community and maybe pop around and visit some of them over that weekend and see what people are up to, and then report back after the event. So that's the main part of our news features this week, a bit shorter than usual. And now we're going over to the Met Office for the weather forecast, and this week we're joined by Aidan McGiven.
Hello again. Following a fine Friday for most of us, it's now going to turn unsettled as we head into the weekend. Spits of rain pushing southeastwards during Saturday night as this weather front moves further south for a time, but you can see it's all connected back to another area of developing low pressure, which then pushes in. It's picked up by the jet stream you can see there, and it deepens across the country on Sunday morning. And that also will bring widely wet and windy weather for the second half of the UK. So damp evening to come on Saturday night, with spells of mainly light rain and drizzle at first for southern parts of England and South Wales, before the rain turns more persistent and heavy once again by dawn across Wales and the southwest. Of course, with the wind and with the rain arriving, it's going to be a mild night for most of us. Some clear spells for Scotland and Northern Ireland, just showers here in the far northwest. But Sunday, for the vast majority away from central and northern Scotland, it's a wet and windy day. Coastal gales for the south coast, heavy and prolonged rain in places, particularly over Wales, where the rain really mounting up through Saturday and Sunday, 60, perhaps 100 millimetres in some of the more exposed spots, so a yellow warning in force. That could cause some issues. And then by the end of the afternoon, the heavier rain there across southeastern parts with the brisk wind. So all in all, a wet and windy Sunday for the vast majority, but one exception, northern Scotland, staying largely bright and dry here with just a few showers for the Northern Isles. Of course, we'll have much more on the weekend's weather on our social media channels, but for now, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Aidan, for that national forecast. And looking at the local forecast for the week ahead, I'm afraid it's not too good. It's going to be very changeable. And look, those spots of rain every day of the week. 3 spots tomorrow and 2 spots every other day. With some sunny spells though. So it's definitely take your coat and brolly with you this week. Not too cold though. I mean, we had a cold day yesterday, and actually the car was frozen up both inside and out yesterday morning. But it looks like it's going to be a bit milder, but back to that dull and wet weather. Hopefully with a few sunny spells to brighten us up through the week as well. Looking at our traffic and travel, roadworks the coming week. The Portland Road roadworks continue with traffic lights, so you can expect delays there at times. Buxton Road, still 2-way traffic lights there until the 25th of February. Wessex Water are working in Marsh Road, Newstead Road, where they will have traffic signals deployed, Cleveland Road and Church Road at Preston. SGN are working, or Southern Gas Networks, working at Mount Pleasant Avenue North and Preston Road, and I think there might be traffic controls at Preston Road for some of the time as well. Scottish and Southern are working at Mead Road. There may be other works going on, obviously, but these are the ones that we have been notified about. Still on the trains, the best advice on the trains due to staffing, and we still haven't heard whether they're going back to the full timetable yet. It is thought that that will be soon. The best thing is to check ahead of travel. Certainly travel into places like London from Weymouth is taking a lot longer at the moment because the trains are stopping at every station because there are fewer trains. But hopefully the regular service will get back soon. But do use the Journey Check website to check ahead and plan your journeys. Now, for Great Western trains, if you're going to Bristol and that direction, the website is journeycheck.com/Great Western Railway. And if you're heading off to Southampton and London and Basingstoke, that direction, for Southwest trains, it's journeycheck.com/SWR. Now, moving to our What's On. Lots of information coming up now about what's on. Loads of things happening at Weymouth Pavilion as usual. Tomorrow, Solve Along a Murder, She Wrote. That looks like some sort of murder mystery thing that's on there. 16th of February, Shakespeare by the Sea. 17th of February, Friends, the musical parody. 18th of February, the UK Rock Show. 23rd of February, one of my favourites, Milton Jones, the comedian, is there. 25th of February, The Sound of Springsteen. And 26th of February, an audience with Harry Redknapp. Of course, you can get more details and book tickets on the online website, weymouthpavilion.com, or by phoning the box office on 01305 783 225. Lots of events coming up also at the Knowth Fort. They're starting to populate their website with what's happening this year. 15th to the 27th of February is a top secret half-term spy mission. Obviously something there for the children. A science festival on the 19th and 20th of March. Easter activities April the 9th through to the 16th. Dorset Art Weeks, they're getting involved in May the 21st to 29th. They're going to have things going on for the Platinum Jubilee celebrations on the 2nd of June to the 5th of June. Don't know what yet, but I'm sure we'll see details soon. And then a Victorian weekend on the 23rd of July to the 24th of July. And as we said, Queen's Jubilee weekend, 2nd of June to the 5th of June. Lots of things will be going on in White Regis. We'll be starting to tell you about those soon. Maybe some details next week to start getting you thinking about whether you're going to get involved. And if you've got anything planned, do let us know so we can include your information as well. Moving on to the film section this week. Last week we actually covered a film that we'd covered before that was up for some BAFTA awards, and we're doing exactly the same this week. Again, this week, a film that we featured about 6-7 months ago, I think it was, is up for 5. Well, it says 5 BAFTAs, and then in my notes it says 4. So it's either 4 or 5 BAFTAs, but they're certainly up for a number of BAFTAs. And it is the film King Richard. And it says here, nominated for 4 BAFTAs, including original screenplay and supporting leading actor for Will Smith and supporting actress for Anjanui Ellis. Anjanui, that's it, yeah, I think that's right, yeah. So it's King Richard, okay, and it also arrives on digital download and DVD this month as well. I think the digital download is already up and running in the week, but it's available on DVD from the 21st of February as well. So, what's it all about? Well, armed with a clear vision and brazen 78-page plan, Richard Williams, played by Will Smith, is determined to write his daughters Venus and Serena into history, and they're played by Sydney and Demi Singleton. Training on Compton, California's abandoned tennis courts, rain or shine, the girls are shaped by their father's unyielding commitment and their mother's balanced perspective and keen intuition. Defying the seamlessly insurmountable odds and prevailing expectations laid before them. Based on the true story that will inspire the world, King Richard follows the uplifting journey of a family whose unwavering resolve and unconditional belief ultimately delivers 2 of the world's greatest sports legends. So, a true story about Serena and Venus Williams and their father and his determination to make them excellent tennis players, which of course they've come into. So here it is, a reminder of King Richard, up for 4 BAFTAs.
What's going on? Everybody okay?
They got a call, said there was trouble in the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You all need to look around?
It's a little wet for practice, don't you think? Don't the girls have schoolwork to do?
They do their homework. Tundi's first in her class. Lynn and Isha are too.
Now, I don't even mind you saying we hard on these kids. You know why? Because we are. That's our job, to keep them off these streets. You want to check on the kids? Let's check on the kids. We got future doctors and lawyers, plus a couple tennis stars in this house.
The chances of achieving the kind of success that you're talking about is just very, very unlikely.
Okay, you making a mistake, but I'm gonna let you make it. Watch them hit a few balls. All right. So tell me your names again.
I'm Venus. I'm Serena.
So what'd you think? I wrote me a 78-page plan for their whole career before they was even born.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
These girls so great, how come I've never heard of them?
They're from Compton.
It's okay. They're just not used to seeing good-looking peoples like us.
She's nervous. Take a step up.
Maybe she ought to take a few more steps up. Just get someplace safe.
I think you might just have the next Michael Jordan.
Oh, no, brother man. I got me the next 2. This next step you about to take you're not gonna just be representing you, you're gonna be representing every little black girl on earth.
I'm not gonna let you down.
How could you? This world ain't never had no respect for Richard Williams, but they gonna respect y'all. You gonna walk out there with your head up. You are a champion, and the whole world knows it. The most dangerous creature on this whole earth. It's a woman who know how to think.
Yes, Daddy.
Ain't nothing she can't do. You gonna show them how dangerous you are? Venus and Serena gonna shake up this world. Venus Williams, who is your best friend?
You, Daddy.
Serena Williams, who is your best friend?
Venus. Then you.
That's
Then you. After
unbelievable.
Venus.
So there we go. King Richard, the true life story of Venus and Serena Williams and their dad, and his planning for their future against all the odds. Now, I'm not a tennis fan, but that looks a fantastic film, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it as well if you haven't seen it already. Now available on digital download on things like Netflix, etc., and will be out on DVD on the 21st of February, and up for some BAFTAs, like the film that we looked at last week, June. So we wish them well for the BAFTAs on Sunday the 13th of March, and no doubt we'll be reporting the results of the BAFTAs here around that time. So we're at the end of another programme. It comes around quick and it disappears quick when we're on air, so I'm hopeful that you will have a good week. It's going to be a bit wet. But remember, regular things happening. Church services tomorrow in White Regis, 8 o'clock at All Saints Church, and 9:30, which will be live stream. We're still live streaming those services each Sunday for those that can't join the services in person. St Edmund's Church at 11 o'clock. And of course, our usual Saturday evening quiz will be on in just a while. Goes live at 7:15. But the quiz itself starts at 7:30. Available to anybody. Do tell your friends, family, work colleagues, neighbours, whoever about it. Everybody is welcome to join us. Don't forget, if you've got anything happening, any news, any projects, anything you want to get over to the local community, do drop us a line at news@whiteregis.tv and we can consider it for next week's programme. Other than that, all I will say to you is good evening. Have an enjoyable rest of this weekend and a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday. Good night.